And we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports. We know that there's a big fight tomorrow night with George Groves and Chris Eubank Jr. Of course, the world is watching that, and there's predictions and previews all around the world currently happening at the moment. But we've got a special guest on our show this evening for you to check out. It is the former WBC heavyweight champion of the world, none other than Bermane Stiverne. Bermane?
Yes, sir.
Are you there?
Yes, I am.
I can't see you. I can't see you, champ. Your camera's gone, I think.
1 second.
Just waiting for Bermane to get his camera up.
Yes, sir.
Well, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes, a while since we last spoke. Of course, the last time we spoke, it wasn't the most pleasant of times for yourself. A lot of people thought that you wouldn't have done the interview, and a lot of people thought that we wouldn't have got to the point that we would have been talking as long about that fight. I know it's difficult to talk about because of what happened wasn't what a lot of people expected to happen. A lot of people were cheering for you, expected you to win that fight. Now you're back. It's February. The fight happened last year. Talk to us about what's been going on since that fight, our interview, and where we are now.
Well, the fight didn't turn out to be, the way the fight turned out to be was quite fast, due to a punch behind the head. I tried to, which I had been punched before behind the head. I had time to recuperate and to shake it off. And, I got hit behind the head and, I was never able to recuperate. And then he just jumped on me and finished the job, which that's his duty to do. But, it is what it is. I would have liked, to at least mix it up. Had the time to mix it up a little bit with him, but that didn't happen. So it is what it is. Moved on from that. You beat me fair and square. There's nothing. I don't have an excuse to say. The only regret I had is, I would have liked to have a chance to mix it up, like I said. But now, I moved on from that. This is probably the first loss that I accept. Even how it turned out. It was quick. It was. So, I move on from that, and now we on to better things, bigger things.
When you look at that fight and you go back and you think about that fight for a second, I mean, do you feel, does it bring questions to your mind about how much you've left in the sport, or do you feel that it's just shit happens that night?
Well, like I told you before, I didn't believe in when people say shit happens, but after that fight, I'm a strong believer that shit happens. Even when he dropped me the first time, I was happy he dropped me the first time because when I went down, I was like, okay, so now I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna be okay, But that shot behind the head, I was never able to. Even one time, I think he dropped me, and he stood in front of me and put his hands down, and he was beating his chest, and I was trying to go forward, but I couldn't go forward because, I still didn't recuperate from that shot, from the shot behind the head. But like I said, man, it is what it is. There's things that people don't understand or people don't see. Right now this is the past. I moved on from that. Like I said, I working on some bigger things and better things.
Okay, so we know now that you have moved on. Have you moved on emotionally from that fight in terms of your relationship, in terms of Wilder? Do you respect him now as a better fighter, or do you still think, well, it was a cheap shot, he got around the back of my head? Or is it, you know what, this guy's a puncher, he's dangerous in the division?
I mean, every division, we all punches. I don't have any, hatreds or, against him. Or I just thought that, that the way his style and my style, I just think that I was always a better fighter. I just always believed that I could beat him, which I still do. But I don't have any remorse or whatever. I'm more hurt about the first fight than the second fight. I still haven't digested the first fight. Second fight, like I said, man, things happen that's out of your control, and you can't do nothing about it. He just jumped on it and ended the fight real quick, which he was supposed to do. If I was in his position, I would do the same thing. So, what else can I say? There's nothing to say.
Is the inactivity to blame for what happened there? Do you think if you had been fighting more regular, you would have slipped that shot?
No, but probably not. The worst that could have happened is me to be, not sharp, but I didn't feel like I wasn't sharp. Training camp was good. I was sparring. Sparring was going. Everything was going good. But in boxing, all it takes is one shot. Whether it's the first minute of the fight or it could have happened differently. Also, I could have beat him for 12 rounds, and the last 10 seconds, I get punched with a shot, which had happened. What fight was that? I think it was Chavez and what's his name? It was like 3 seconds left. And he was being
Taylor.
Yeah, he was being Chavez the whole fight, and then 3 seconds left. They stopped the fight. So it's boxing. That's how boxing is. Whether it's the first minute of the fight or the last few seconds of the fight, anything goes. Especially in the big boy division.
Critics would look at things and say, well, he's past it, he's past his best, or they would say, well, look at his weight, the condition he was in coming into the fight. What do you answer to those things?
People don't want to, even my weight. That the night before the weigh-in, I was like even lower than I thought I was, because I was going in at 245, and when I went to bed at 242.
Yep.
And I got up. I think I was 241. I got up it was 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was hungry. I was thirsty, and there's no way I would have done what I did the first fight, which is get up in the morning and starve myself the whole day, and then weigh myself late afternoon. So when I got up, I went on the scale. I was 242, 241. I was happy with that. That was my weigh-in, my personal weigh-in. So I didn't have to get on the scale to entertain anybody, media or the fans. In my mind, I was where I was at. So I went in to have breakfast, drank lots of water. Uh, you know, I had breakfast and lunch, and then I went on the scale. That's all there was.
Oh, okay. Okay, for the misinformed, or for those who are not quite clued up on things, some people say, Stiverne, he went out, he dined out, and he didn't care about the fight particularly, and that look at him the way he looked when he came on the scales. You hear it, and I'll be honest, you hear it across social media. You hear many journalists, trainers say it. Is this a case here where there are a lot of people who are saying things that are miseducated about who you are, or is it a case that you may be not being told the truth about things about your training and the way you're going about your preparations?
No, this preparation. I mean, the preparation was good. I can't. I was in good shape. Uh, but like I said, this is. I could have got on the scale and starved myself the whole day. Don't drink the whole like I did the last time. And on top of that, the first fight, what happened is uh, 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 the weigh-in was pushed. Was supposed to be at 2, and the weigh-in was not till like 5. So I'm up to 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going almost like 12 hours not eating and not drinking just to be on the scale. And I got to fight the next day, which is ridiculous. So I'm a heavyweight. So this fight for this one, I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna get caught up into what I got caught up the first fight. So like I said, I want to have breakfast, decent breakfast, drink water, Gatorade juice, and my weigh-in was when I got up that morning. So critics and all that, I don't really care about that. I don't even know what was said. So I don't really care about it.
I'm not
So
sure if you're aware, Andy Ruiz, gentleman who fought Joseph Parker for the vacant WBO title at the time, he hasn't fought since. And according to Abel Sanchez, he says it's because so many media people and fans and so have got on social media and basically dogged him out about his weight. So he says, you know what, I can't be doing this no more, and he's left the sport of boxing.
well, words don't hurt me. Words do not hurt me. So, and most of the people that have critics or have something to say about anybody don't even know how to lace a glove. So I would take critics from somebody that actually fought or was probably done what I've done before or done more than I've done. Those critics, I would acknowledge those critics, whether they're good or bad. But from people that can't even spell boxing, why would I even listen or let them bother me? Like, this is ridiculous. Because
Okay.
most of the people that have something to say, they never fought or get punched or punched somebody. Most of the people don't know what we go through for 3-4 months before the fight. Abstinence and this and that. You can't eat this and you can't go there, and there's a lot going on because all they see is two fighters that night. They don't know what went down before, like 90 days before, or 120 days before, or even 6 months before. The preparation is something that demands a lot. So people don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? So all they see is two fighters in the ring. They don't know nothing. They don't know if you don't see kids, you don't see family, you don't see none of that. So this is things that people don't understand. You know, so like I said, critics don't bother me. I listen to critics from ex champions, from trainers, from people that even somebody that had 2-3 fights and never made it past 3 or 4 fights. I listen to those, but people that actually never
boxed or do anything.
Yeah, box. These are the people that always talk and have something to say or have some kind of whatever comments or whatever, which it don't matter because how do I look going into basketball and then start criticizing, this player, that player, which the only time I played basketball was in my backyard. I never played basketball, and I never. How do I look going criticizing somebody that I never done what they did before? You know what I'm saying? So it don't make no sense. But anyway, like I said, me comments and critics, I don't.
Yeah, got no time for.
It doesn't bother me at all.
All right, let's talk a little bit more. Let's move forward. So, I know what's Bermane Stiverne doing now. What's the plan now for Bermane Stiverne?
Bermane is back in the gym. Been back in the gym. I got back in the gym the end of November. It's looking good. It's looking good. How can I say? Should I say it? No, I mean, I'm in a good place now. I'm in a good place. I got good things going on right now. Working. What else can I say?
Well, okay. Do we have to wait another 2 years before we see you box again?
No, hell no.
That's the first thing people want to know.
I should be back in the ring early summer.
I thought it was March. No, it's summer.
No, but no, I like summer due to what we discussed before. I need to spend more time, and
okay,
make sure that everything is on point.
Okay, so with a defeat like the way you got defeated, there are sometimes what they call maybe a question marks about training camps, trainers, management. Where is the Stiverne train going? He's X age. He's now had a devastating knockout defeat. Is he the end of the road? What does Team Stiverne do now? Is there a changing of the guard? Are trainers going to get changed over? Are there going to be managerial changes? Are you going to make changes in your own? Can you make changes at this stage of your career? What can you done for Bermane Stiverne?
Of course, you can make any kind of changes you want, as long as you, if that's what you want to do, really, yeah. I'm dedicated to the sport. I don't have that much years left, but I still a lot could happen before I retire. I'm not going to do this forever, but yeah, there are some I wouldn't say changes, but
adjustments.
Let's just say not adjustment, more like adding.
Okay, so tell us what's been added.
TBA.
To be announced.
TBA, yeah, to be announced. But like I said, no, really, I'm on different. In life, you are so used to do things a certain way, and then once you decide to do that particular thing another way, or somebody show you how to do things a different way, it's like, What I'm saying is because you're so used to doing things a certain way, you
Mm-hmm.
don't think there's other ways. You know what I'm saying? Till somebody else come, or somebody make you notice that you're doing the wrong thing.
Potentially another trainer, potentially another experienced trainer helping out along the way, or something like that.
Well, hey, listen, we all need help, So uh, there's there's a couple changes and a couple, like I said, things that I have to add um, to my career. So you know, I only got one career. You know what I'm saying? So if it's now or never. So the whatever it is that we're doing right now, I'm loving it. I love it, and kind of like kind of made me feel like I just started boxing.
Recently, there's been changes for Tyson Fury. He's left Peter Fury, and now he's got a new trainer. And he says he needed the change. He said the change is as good as a rest, and he wishes Peter nothing but the best, but feels he needs to move on. He feels, well, Peter took him to a certain level. Now he feels he wants to do something else. So it happens in boxing. Fighters either change trainers, or they bring somebody else in to help out when things need to be changes need to be made.
Right, but the change, it won't be up to me to make uh the change, or whoever wants to stay or whoever wants to leave. Uh, I don't fire nobody. I don't. It's just that every fighter has to realize that at some point you only got one
Career.
career, and sometimes you have to make the toughest decision. But when it comes to me, I don't never uh, let this be up to me. You know, whoever's there is whoever's there, and whoever's not there, let it be known that it's not a decision that I take. So
Okay, but it's your career, Bermane. People would ask the question, well, you're a man who's in career. If you don't know by now what's right for your career and what's not right for your career, I mean, you're an experienced pro, former world champion. You know what it takes, or you have an
yeah,
idea
of
what it
course,
takes to get to the top.
yeah, of course. But um, some people would not mind to share the piece of the pie, and some people would mind sharing the piece of the pie.
Right.
You know,
There are some
so
trainers that don't like sharing a piece of the pie with other trainers. There's some trainers who say it's my way or the highway. And there's some trainers that go, you know what? I can get you there, but keeping you there is going to be another matter altogether. And maybe it's time we brought somebody else in.
yeah, I mean, I don't. This is guy. Everybody got to take responsibility for everything they do. I take full responsibility for whatever happened in my career, the wins, the losses. You know, and everybody that knows me, that's in the team, they know that every day I'm up and I'm working it. I'm working hard. So
Okay.
but it's not because you get up every morning and working hard doesn't mean that you're doing the right thing. You can get up every morning and train as hard as you want, you know, but it still don't mean that you are doing the right thing. You know, there's training hard and there's training the right way. You know, so
Since the
these
wild,
are all,
since the wild defeat, have you realised there's some things you're doing that don't work anymore?
yeah. I mean, I for a long time. For a long time, I you know, maybe ever since the first areola. No, ever since the second. Ever since I won the title, yeah, it came into my attention that I'm maybe I needed something more, and I needed to stop doing other things, or you know,
In terms of training methods and
it,
direction, possibly.
everything. Everything, because once I won the title, like everything was not everything changed. You know, everything changed. It's but it's not just things that you realize at the moment. It's when you sit back and you think and and then you visualize like what happened and how it happens, and I'll be watching my old fights. A lot of things change. Which I'm not being negative with whatever. I'm just saying, things change. Some change for the better, and some change for the worse. You know, I did have I was heavyweight champion. I was heavyweight champion of the world, so something was
Something good came out of it.
I must have did something right at some point. But there's like I tell you, I told you, there's people that could get you there, but when it comes to stay there, it's different. It's different. You got to use different methods or different ways and change your whole mind of thinking. Just think
that. Did James Ali Bashir, when he was around the camp, did that have any bearing on bringing the wins that needs to be made?
Being with Bashir in camp with Bashir, it was good. It was really good. He was a good guy. It was really good. Yeah, loud too. But it was a plus for me. It was a plus for me. I've seen, I was watching him train the other guys, and I was listening to him, and when he was directing the telling the guys what to do in sparring, so made me realize I was doing certain things. I was always doing the same thing, so I had to keep my guards up or move a certain way in the ring. It helped me a lot because hearing him talking to the guys and telling the guys what to do, so it made me realize sometimes that I was going too much to my right, or I was backing up straight, or things like that.
Okay, very interesting.
But it was a good thing to have him around. It was a good thing.
Okay. Joe Joyce, he fights tonight, by the way. Just thought I'd let you know. He's fighting tonight. Is that a fight you can see in the future, or is that something that's totally not on your radar?
Who knows? It's boxing.
David Hayes been trying to push a fight between Joe Joyce and Derek Chisora. How do you see that fight going?
Don't he has like 3 fights or something like that?
Yeah.
What is nonsense?
You don't think so? No?
Excuse
I
me?
don't think so. In terms of instead of Hay fight, trying to get the other day. I mean, it was a couple of days ago. It was at the Coley Chamberlain fight. He was trying to get Chisora and Joyce to fight.
But how is that? All right. They really believe they got Superman and trying to feed him to veteran and too fast. I mean, it's not my career, so
Okay.
It's not my career, so they can do. If that's what they want to do, and that's what he wants to accept them to do, and have him thinking that he's Superman or a superhero, and it is what it is.
So you're not caught up in the Joe Joyce hype, then?
Nah, not really. I can't say not really, not at all.
Okay. Is that a personal thing? You don't like Joe Joyce, or is it just?
No, I don't have any. I don't know him, so I don't like him. I don't know him.
Fair enough.
We sparred once. He said what he had to say. He was punching. He was punching my dreads off or something like that.
Yeah, he punched your dreadlocks off.
If that's what he wants to believe, that's what he wants to believe. I was barely fighting with him, so that was just to warm me up to spar with the other guys because he was not nowhere near the type of fighting that I was getting ready for. So
yeah, understandable. Okay. There's a big fight tomorrow night. I'm not sure if you're aware of it. Chris Eubank Jr. and George Groves.
I want to say Eubank.
Okay, I believe that you've met Mr. Eubank and Junior and Senior before.
Yeah, I have.
And how was it when you met them?
Oh boy. When I met, I think I met the father,
right?
The first, and then I met the son after.
Okay.
How can I put this in words?
Like it is.
I can't put it. I'm trying to find the correct word.
Is there a correct word?
I don't know. Without cussing.
Well, who said you can't cuss? I mean, you can cuss for sake, or you can cuss for a purpose.
I met the father, who's a real dickhead, and I don't really say or talk about people like that, but he's really, really, really full of crap. His attitude, and I knew he the way he was when he was fighting, but I was for fighting, so
Yeah.
You know, entertainment. But you know, your career is done. So you done. So, but he still carry on with the same, you know, attitude. I met the son, you know, earlier in his career. Son was cool. Son was cool. He didn't have a lot of fights, maybe a few fights. It was cool. But as he goes up and uh, you know, he became like his father.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and there was one episode I think um, I was getting ready for Povetkin, I think last year, and I was sparring, and they show up to the gym as I'm sparring, and then I'm sparring and I'm moving, and I trip over a bag. So I trip and I look, there was a bag there. I'm like, whose bag is this? And then, you know, the son is looking at me like, okay. So I'm like, okay, your bag is there and I'm sparring. So why would you put your bag there? And then I don't know what he said. He said something. So I said, yo, just move your bag or whatever. Then he told me, I won't move it till you ask me nicely. Like, what? What are you talking about? So when he said that, like if I'm sparring, like any anybody that's sparring, if I'm coming in the gym, I'm not gonna put my bag like on the ring, you know, someone to trip or whatever. So I walked over and I kicked his bag. I kicked his bag and everything flew out the bag, right and left. And then the father came and he was like, oh, why did you do that or whatever, whatever. I said, I did that because I asked him and he's trying to be a smart ass because I asked him nicely to take his bag off the gym, off the ring, and he was on some, I don't know, maybe he was looking for me to call him Majesty or Lord or something. And so I kicked his bag, and then he said something smart. So I got off the ring, you know, because hey, this is a boxing ring, you know, it's a boxing gym. So I got off the ring and I walked to him to 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 get closer to hear what he said. So his father kind of hold me, and I told his father to get off me, you know. And then when I got in his face and I asked him to repeat it, he couldn't repeat it. And he walked outside the gym. But it's not the first time that happened. I was not the first because it happened with a bunch of other fighters on the TMT, the gym, the floor gym, TMT. A lot of they had a bunch of episodes with a lot of fighters out there. A bunch, at least. I was probably maybe at least five other episodes that happened. Him and his dad with other fighters in the gym.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I was not on disrespecting nobody or whichever, but you know, if you can respect me, then I won't respect you. Simple as that. You know, same thing as if he was sparring, if he was sparring, I would never. And he was sparring before that. There was the days that he would spar, and I would never even put my arm or my hands on the ring to look at him sparring somebody else. He was sparred Jay Leon, Badu Jack, or whatever. I would never go around the ring. I would stay away from the ring because they're sparring. So the same respect that I give you, can you give it to me? You know.
Dang.
So that's what it was. He just came to the gym and put his bag not at the edge. He put his bag like inside the ring, as if okay, I'm Chris Eubank. I need the ring. Get off the ring. You know. But I don't have anything with the kid. You know, it was just an episode. Not the I don't have anything against his son. You know, it is what it is. You know, I still think I got him. I picked him to win the fight. But his father, on the other hand, I I don't have any. As an adult, as an ex-fighter, you know, um, you know, when you used to fight, you wasn't Floyd Mayweather or Sugar Ray, you know. So you still think he is some kind of god, or you're supposed to, whenever you walk, you're supposed to throw flowers on the ground, or you're supposed to bow down to him or something. That's the attitude he has, and I don't. I'm not into those kind of
Antics.
behavior.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
But I mean, there's no bad blood. I see him. I could say hi, wave at him, or what's up. That's it. There's no bad blood. As if like when
Okay.
I see he looks at me a certain way.
It's an episode that happened.
I mean, we all grown. I mean, something happened. It happened. It's done. It's done. It's a new day. But I don't have anything to say to him, and he don't have anything to say to me. If you see me, you might say hi. I might say hi, and that's it. That's where it stops.
Okay, fair enough. The WBC belt is on the line. The fight that you said that you didn't think would happen is going to happen. Well, Lewis versus Deontay Wilder, March 3rd, I believe. Your thoughts?
My thoughts. I don't know. I don't know. I'll go with Wilder.
People are going to be stunned you're going with Wilder.
Why is that?
Well, you know how it's painted. Staverne won't give Wilder credit. He don't like Wilder. He's a hater of Wilder. Now you've just said, I go with Wilder. Wow!
Why?
People are going to take that clip and they'll play it over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, it could go either way. But yeah, I mean, Wilder. I don't see it. I don't see Ortiz. I don't know. I don't see it.
I actually see Ortiz getting blitzed out there by Wilder. Actually, I actually see Wilder blitzing Ortiz.
You see what?
I see Wilder blitzing him. I think he's too slow.
But that's what I said. That I said that Ortiz, but there's a different reason why I say Wilder. Maybe a younger Ortiz would have won.
Yeah, there are question marks about how old Ortiz is. We wonder if he's 48, 49, 50, or even older.
He's 45 years old.
Nah, he's not 45. Not according to Amir Mansour. Mansour says he's 45 and Ortiz has to be at least 3 years older than him. At least. That's Amir Mansour that said that.
And it was I'm 6. So 40, 47, 46. That's what I say. There's the episode where in 2003 or 2004. I mean, I won't put his business out there like that.
Well, Mansour said, check the Olympic teams that he was around.
Let me be quiet, because I did meet Ortiz in 2003 or 4, and we had a chit chat. He was super heavyweight and I was heavyweight.
Yep.
And we had a little chit chat, and he was telling me how he got to hurry up and turn pro, and he wants to come to America and stuff like that. And we had a little chit chat.
Well, Mansour put it out there. He didn't care.
So when I add 2 + 2 today, it does an equal 4. Yeah. I mean, a younger Ortiz, yeah, I would probably. I think it's going to be entertaining the first few rounds, and then I think I say between 6 and 8 rounds.
6 and 8 rounds.
6, 8. You should take care of Ortiz.
Okay. Dillian Whyte versus Lucas Brown. You know anything about that fight?
Dillian Whyte, my boy. I like him. I like Whyte.
Your voice is I'm breaking up. I think you're.
I like Whyte. I like Dillian Whyte.
You like Whyte?
Yeah, I like his attitude. Yeah, I like it.
He's a character, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's don't give a damn, but I like him. I like him over
Lucas Brown.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Let's get back to your own career. When you said you're going to fight in the summer, and I remember you telling me back then it was going to be a top 10 fight. Is that where we're at with Bermane Stiverne, or are we looking at some top 20 fight or some warm-up fight?
Oh, honestly, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. So I'm just
Are you chasing another world title or not? Fight.
Excuse me?
Are you chasing another world title fight, or are you just going to take fights until you retire?
No, of course, world titles, and big fights. There's only one reason why we do what we do, is to fight. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. The screen's gone again. Yeah, there you go. But your volume's gone now. You've muted yourself. Now I can't see.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir.
Do the same.
No, big fights, of course. Title fights, of course. Why not? This is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. Till I retire. And like I said, at this point, the fights out there, the big fights out there, these are the fights that I rather have. But like I said, I have a good team behind me, and I'm pretty sure Jay Prince has his plan or idea for me, and then this is what I will follow and execute.
Okay, one strange question. I've always had this fight has always been in my mind, and I don't know why it's always been in my mind. Bermane Stiverne versus Bryant Jennings, because now Jay Brett,
we in the same we in the same gym right now.
Wow, are you?
Yeah, I think he fights this weekend.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he left yesterday. We were in the gym. We've been in the gym for the past months in the same gym.
Wow, because before you guys were separate management team, and I always thought a fight between Bryant Jennings and Bermane Stiverne would be a great fight. I always thought it would be, and now you both are in the same camp. So I mean, is that a fight that could happen?
It could happen, but why?
Why not? Well, you say why, I say why not. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I mean, why not? I mean,
but okay, I could say
why at this point.
Why should this point, Wilder versus Stiverne too? As much as we should say Wilder versus Stiverne versus
right, but why? If it was for a title? Now, if I fight Jenny right now, what is the
NABO title?
For what?
NABO title.
Does he have a title?
Oh, I don't know. It could be for a vacant NABO title.
I mean, if it is for something, I mean, I mean that's what we do. We fight for a living. So
yeah.
So it doesn't. But a fight just like that, just for the fun of it.
Nah.
I mean, I don't see the point.
What about Manuel Shah, the WBA champion?
I would. Now that's another fight. That's Emmanuel Shah. Why not? I mean, I would, of course.
So what's the determining factor of you coming back now? I mean, in terms of
all of us fight for to become champion, or so why not? If you offer any fighter a fight against a title holder or world champion, stupid not to. Like I said, I mean, to me, I don't know if I.
You're breaking up.
And I had two fighters, and to have them fight each other, just for the fun of it, that would be, it's not something I would do.
Right. Okay.
Personally, I mean, that's me talking.
Yeah, I can understand that. So just to close, so we will see you back in the ring. There's no retirement plans. You're going to fight back in the summer. So how many times are we going to see you in 2018? Is it going to be one fight in 2018?
No, I mean, right now, the last talk I had with Jay was that I should fight at least twice before the end of the year.
Twice,
or 3 times, depending on what could happen. And
are you interested in fighting warm-up fights against no-name opponents, or what is it with you?
Right now, I mean, no name. I mean, at this point, if it's a name or no name, I don't think it really matters.
But time isn't actually on your side, is it?
It's not, but I don't don't really. This is my age is not even something I think about.
Right. Okay.
Is obviously, you know, I don't have 10 years in front of me, you know.
Yep.
But you know, it's just to make the best out of the years that I got left, pretty much.
Okay. All right.
You know, but you know, a lot could happen if you look at when I was a champion and right now it's about what 3 years now. So
Yeah.
a lot could happen. A lot could happen in 3 years.
So have you got an idea who you'd want to fight or pencil in for a fight already, or is it just speculation at the moment?
No, I do have an idea of who they want me to fight and who I want to fight, and it's just funny that who I wanted to fight is who they want me to fight. So
Okay, so it looks
we'll
like
see. So
could it be the
we'll
same
see.
guy that we were potentially discussing before?
Which guy is that?
I'm not mentioning his name because I want to get in trouble. So I don't want you knocking at my door. So, yeah, but it's a top 10 guy, right?
Yeah,
If
top
it's the same
15.
guy.
I think it's top 15 or top. I don't know where he's at. Because you know now the WBC and IBF and BO they might be ranked high and lower, and it doesn't. I mean, I don't know where he's ranked in the IBF or the BC.
Okay.
He might be higher in the BC and lower in the IBF. So it's really
I forgot to ask you before you finish. Joseph Parker and Joshua.
shit.
Shit.
Oh God.
Is it an easy fight for either guy?
It's not. It's not. I never, you know, put the gloves with
Joshua.
Joshua. From what I've seen, he's very strong. You know, Parker have good power. He's fast with his hands. I don't know.
How good is his chin? Everyone's talking about his chin being the key to the fight against Joshua.
But nobody has really. If you look at what's his name, Joshua.
Yeah.
The only time he got punched in the chin, he went down. You know, so when Vladimir hit him, and it was not really a hard punch. You know, he went down, but also got up and faced a job. So that's a plus.
Yep.
I don't know. It's I don't know. This one is hard to. But I would want Parker, to the fact that I know him, he's a good friend. I wouldn't want him to do well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he deserves it. He's really I think he deserves it. He's really a cool
guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. We're going to bring that interview to an end. Bermane, as always, thank you so much for talking to BWTM Sports.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be on the air with you.
Absolutely.
And welcome back to the UK.
Yeah, you need to come to the UK.
Who knows?
Well, who knows? It could happen.
Never know. Is that fight between Shannon and Fury happening or what?
I'm hearing it could happen.
Okay. That should be interesting.
Oh, does that mean you're coming to the UK if that fight happens?
I don't know.
Let me know, because if you're coming, we've got a nice seaside out here.
All right, that's probably.
All right, we look forward.
But if that big fight happened, you might see me out there.
Okay, well I'll keep the house ready for you then.
Who knows? I may fight in the UK.
Who knows?
You know, things always work out mysteriously.
They do. Bermane, once again, thanks a lot, champ.
Appreciate it.
Take care.